In these difficult economic times, cutting back on luxuries is almost a foregone conclusion. But what about when all of the extras are gone and there's still not enough money at the end of the month? Some Bay Area parents are making a money-saving choice about their child's education. But at what cost? KTVU's Gassia Mikaelian takes a closer look in tonight's special report.
After the health of their child, it is said to be a parent's #1 priority, their child's education. That's why, for decades, thousands of families have paid thousands of dollars a year to put their children in Bay Area private schools. But for some, that's no longer the case. KTVU contacted dozens of private schools around the Bay Area, and several reported they've either lost students in the middle of the year or are expecting a drop in next fall's enrollment due to the recession. On the low end, private schools cost $6,500 to $8,000 per student per year, and in these times, that's too much for many parents. This all-girls Catholic high school in Sacramento is closing down at the end of the school year. Officials at Loretto High say difficult choices made by cash-strapped parents left the school with no choice but to shut down.
Their family had to decide pay the mortgage or pay the tuition.
And other schools, while not shutting down, are feeling the pinch. Kruzian Zakarian Vaspuragan Armenian School, or KZV, is the only full-time Armenian American school in Northern California. There are 112 students in all. Parents who send their children here prize the intimacy the school offers, but KZV soon might get even smaller.
Definitely families are feeling like things are not going to be the same.
The school's community outreach coordinator says students from as many as 10 families may not return in the fall.
Financially, the situation is pretty bad. They don't know what their situation is going to be in September.
Ani Bavukian's twin boys attend KZV.
We've definitely felt a crunch, as a lot of the parents have.
But she says she and her husband will do whatever it takes to keep their sons at the school.
So we go into debt, you know, for the next 7 years, or until this economy gets back up to, you know, a good state.
Other families faced with similar circumstances are making a different decision. The superintendent of Contra Costa Christian School says he's lost a handful of students in the middle of the year because their parents simply cannot pay.
Both parents are working in the real estate industry, and the income's not there. How are they going to pay the tuition? They want to keep the child in school, but can't afford that. So what are we going to do?
Enrollment has dropped steadily during the past couple of years at Contra Costa Christian. There were 405 students 2 years ago. Now, the superintendent says he's expecting just 300 students to come back in the fall. All those who run private schools are keenly aware that at a certain point, a small school becomes too small to survive.
The school does need to really think about how it's going to survive on the long run.
The principal of KZV says he hopes to increase the school's enrollment during the next 3 to 5 years, but acknowledges it will take a lot of hard work by the school, students' parents, and the community, especially now. Even when one student leaves, those who remain may suffer. Private schools depend on tuition to pay teachers, buy books, keep the school running.
And if a family has to pull out for economic reasons, that impacts the school, not only because it hurts us as a family, as a community, but it hurts us in terms of our income.
Back at Contra Costa Christian, officials say they're doing all they can to keep programs such as the Bell Choir afloat, believing parents will continue to see the value of sending their children here. As for those students who are leaving private schools, some go to less expensive ones, but often they end up in public schools. It can be an abrupt educational and social switch for a child. Friday, private school. Monday, public. And while no longer paying for a private education has an immediate impact on a family's financial situation, teachers and parents point out the public school system those students are entering has far greater money problems of its own. Gassia Mikaelian, KTVU, Channel 2 News.